In May of 2019, the Travis Scott Jordan 1 Mocha released and became a cultural moment. This sneaker was right up there with some of the most recognizable and hyped up Jordan 1s of all time. And this color combination of light sail or off-white mixed with the brown kind of became Travis Scott's identity with Jordan collaborations. 1 year later, they released these, the Jordan 1 Dark Mocha, using the exact same recipe that they used for the Travis Scott collaboration. And sure enough, these things exploded. They became one of the most sought after Jordan 1 colorways. The resale price was like triple the retail, and because just so many people wanted these things, they also became one of the most faked shoes of all time. Well, fast forward to today, 2024, and they're back. Here we have the box. Now, this is something that does differ from the Dark Mochas, the highs that dropped back in 2020. This has a kind of corresponding colorway to the shoes. So instead of red and black, you now have a brown and black. Although this brown is a little bit odd because it doesn't match the shoes and it's hardly brown. It's like a little bit more purpley. Nevertheless, we're here for the shoes. Let me show you guys today's sneaker. It's the Jordan 1 Mocha Low. Here we have them, guys. Some very good things I have to say about this pair of shoes. A couple of annoying things, but first let me give you all of the rundown of the things that you absolutely have to know. So first up, the release date, it's a little bit confusing. They're actually region splitting this. So here in the EU, the UK, these are going to be dropping tomorrow, August the 28th. However, you guys out in the US are only going to be getting a release of these all the way in September on the 21st. Never know why they actually do the region split thing. It might just be down to, I don't know, the US hasn't received pairs from China yet. Let's start with the basics, just in case you are watching this video before they actually drop. Let's talk about sizing. Pretty straightforward. It's a pair of Jordan 1s, a pair of sneakers that so many people have tried before. I went with my true to size, just like I do in any Jordan 1, and they fit me perfectly. So at the end of the day, that's what I'm going to recommend. Yeah, just stick with your regular size. Next question is, well, how hard are these going to be to actually buy? Well, this is a little bit of a weird one. So like I said in the beginning of the video, the Mocha or the Dark Mocha Highs that dropped in 2020 were insanely popular. It's one of those Jordan 1 colorways that kind of transcended the sneakerhead community and really just got everybody interested in them. People who are not even massively into sneakers, they look at this colorway and they either A, associate it with Travis Scott, or they just take a look at the color palette that works so perfectly together, and it's going to be such a versatile option with so many different outfits. However, when these dropped in 2020, it was a very, very different time for sneakers. Sneakers in general right now, and especially Jordan 1s, don't sell out like they used to. So yes, these lows, if they dropped a couple years ago, probably would have been damn near impossible to buy for retail price without a bot or something like that. But today, I don't think it should actually be that hard. However, having said that, I still think there is a decent amount of hype behind this colorway. It is, again, like I said, just so easy to throw these on and style them. So if you are trying to get your hands on these things, I just probably wouldn't sleep on the release. There's also something to be said about how hard Jordan Brand has been going with absolutely milking this colorway. So after we had the Jordan 1 Travis Scotts in 2019, we then got these the very next year. Well, then in 2023, we got the Jordan 1 Palomino, which plays into that same color scheme and also could be referencing a Travis Scott Jordan 1 sample that was going around. And then, of course, earlier this year, we got the Lattes, which have a very similar DNA. It's got the neutral tones, the browns. This one's obviously just a little bit lighter. Now we're back to the same recipe, just in a low cut form. So I don't know, maybe people have their fill of this color scheme recipe. You let me know what you think. Either way, I really want to start by diving into some of the positives about this pair of shoes. First up, I kind of like how they match the box to the colorway of the shoes. It's a very small detail, but appreciated. I also like how they literally made these things a one-to-one of the Jordan 1 High Dark Mochas. Like, you know how Jordan's like, they'll release release a colorway that's very similar, but some slight things are off. No, this is one of the closest kind of retros I've seen. Like, these two shoes are literally identical. When you have them side by side, you feel that all of the leather is exactly the same. Not just in color, but also in the feel of it and the quality. One of the most important parts of the suede that you find around the back, this mocha color, is also exactly the same. So it's literally like they haven't changed anything. They've just dropped the top on these things. Having said that, there is one difference that I could see and feel on this pair of shoes, aside from, you know, one being a high top, the other one being a low cut. They do come with a different tongue tag. So if you take a look, the highs have a white and a black, and the lows now have a brown and a black. But that is really it. If you know the mochas, if you've seen the mochas, just expect the exact same thing, just in a low cut form. This is going to be really good for the people that always liked the mochas and wanted a low cut version, or just, you know, don't mind it being a low cut. But as nice as all of that sounds, there is one pretty annoying part. These do not come with extra laces, which is something that this pair obviously came with. It came with a sail color, which in my opinion is almost like a must, you know, swap them out for the sail color, because that just looks dope. But this one you can't unless you spend an extra $5-10 on an extra pair yourself, or unless you already have a sail pair lying around, then yeah, you can swap them out. I just feel like a lot of people like the sail swap specifically on this colorway, so it's a little bit strange that they cheaped out specifically on that. I guess it's minor, you can always buy another pair, but that's the one annoying thing. I can't really complain about anything else. This is pretty much what people would want. If they're doing another mocha style colorway, just make it exact. There is also something to be said about these being a low cut, because I do think since 2020 people have oftentimes opted for lower cut shoes. Not just on Jordan 1s, but I think it's just a general trend in the market. People seem to be going for lower cuts rather than high tops. I mean, you can notice how Travis Scott has pretty much just been exclusively doing Jordan 1 lows ever since 2019. I'm not saying he creates the Jordan 1 market, but obviously with a colorway that is so heavily inspired by his line, it makes sense. With these being a low cut, I think it's not just a sneaker that people are going to be interested in if they don't have the mochas, but even with the mochas, I think people are still going to be interested in picking these up. This is really just one of those colorways that does work with so many different outfits and look really, really good. The styling with these is practically effortless, especially coming into the fall season where, let's face it, most people are going to be opting for more earth tone clothing, so having the shoes to match is definitely a good time. And yes, Jordan 1 hype is definitely down right now, but let's face it, Jordan 1s are not going anywhere. This is one of the most, if not the most iconic sneaker models of all time. It's always going to be the sneaker model that people come back to, and I think this colorway, with all of the history behind it of the Dark Mochas and the Travis Scotts, this is going to be one that people come back to as well. For me personally, this is definitely a pair I had to pick up. I think even if they don't go into the rotation immediately, I think come this fall time, they're definitely going to be there to some degree. But let me know down in the comment section, is this a pair that you're after or not? And if you want to check out another one, I highly recommend this one right over here.